Hello and welcome to this beginner's tutorial on how to create a complete REST assured project on IntelliJ IDEA. I'm Raghav and you can find all my work on my website automationstepbystep.com, and in this session I'm going to go very basic step by step, so do not worry if you have no prior knowledge on REST assured or IntelliJ. I will go very basic and we will first learn the prerequisites and see what are the prerequisites required for our project. We will create a Maven project. We will then add the REST assured libraries in our project. We will then create our first API request with the REST assured libraries, and then we will finally create some reports. So with this, let's get started. And first, let us see some prerequisites. The first prerequisite is you should be having Java JDK on your system. So to check that, you can go on your command line. So let me go on my command prompt, and you can follow this session on Windows or Mac operating system. So if you go to your command prompt on Windows and say java space hyphen version, you will see the version of Java on your system. In case you do not find Java or you get command not found or some error, I will show you exactly what to do in a moment. But for now, you can just check this command, and you can also say java c space hyphen version to check the compiler version of Java, and then you can exit from here. In case you are on Mac, you can go to terminal. So I am pressing command space on my Mac to bring up the spotlight search, and then I will start typing terminal and I will hit enter to go to the terminal app. And again here I will say java space hyphen version and java c space hyphen version to get the version of Java, and then I will exit from here. Now just in case you do not have Java or JDK on your system, you can go on my website, that is automationstepbystep.com, and here if you scroll down you will find a link. So under the programming section you will see a link for Java. This will take you to my YouTube playlist on Java, and here you can see this video for Windows, how to install Java on Windows, and for Mac you can see this video, how to install or update Java on Mac. So once you have Java on your system, then we will go to the next prerequisite, that is we should be having some IDE, that is integrated development environment, where we will create our project. So in this session we are going to use IntelliJ. I have also created a session on REST assured on Eclipse earlier, but this time I'm going to use IntelliJ. And just in case you are completely new to IntelliJ IDEA, do not worry, you can again go on my website automationstepbystep.com, and here under the IDE and editors section you will see IntelliJ IDEA, and then it will take you to the YouTube playlist, and here you can see the beginner tutorials on IntelliJ. You can watch the first video, how to download and set up, and this will get you started with IntelliJ. And in case you want to use Eclipse, I already have a separate session for REST assured on Eclipse. So you can see there is a session for REST assured beginners and REST assured, this is on Eclipse. And then the next prerequisite is you should be having Maven on your system. So if you go to your command prompt, now this is not mandatory for now. If you say mvn space hyphen v or mvn space hyphen version, this will give you the Maven version. But even if you are not having Maven for now, it is okay. We have Maven already built in IntelliJ IDEA. So if we are going to run our project from IntelliJ, it is okay, you do not need Maven separately. But later on, when you want to run your project from your command prompt or terminal, then you will need Maven. And just in case you want to learn that time, again you can check my video here. You can search for Maven, you can see here it is. So this will again take you to my YouTube playlist. Under build tools you will find Maven, and here you will see videos for Windows and Mac on how to install and get started with Maven. So we have this prerequisite. And then TestNG, you should be having TestNG added on your IDE, and in this case it is IntelliJ. And again for that you can watch my video under the IntelliJ playlist. We have this video here, how to use TestNG and how to get started with TestNG on IntelliJ. So with this you will complete all your prerequisite, and then we will move to the first step, and that is we will open our IntelliJ IDEA. So I will go on my Windows system and let me exit from here, and I have my IntelliJ open here. So here I'm going to create a project. So step number 2 is we will create a Maven project. So I will go to projects and then say new project. I will select Maven here, and you can select the JDK that you want to use. In case you have multiple JDKs on your system, you can select the JDK from here. You can also download a new JDK. So I will go with this default for now. Say next. I have skipped archetype selection. I will directly give a name to my project. So I will say REST assured project 1, and you can select where you want to save it. So I want to save it under, let us say, I will change the location. I want to go to IntelliJ projects, and under this I want to say REST assured project. So it will save here, and then you can see this is the group ID, which is usually the company domain. So let me keep it as it is, and then you can see the artifact ID, which is usually the project name. And if you want to give a version like this, you can give, let me keep the version as 1.0, and that's it. I will say finish, and it has created a project, and you can see the pom.xml file is here, and this is our pom.xml file where we will manage all our dependencies. And here you can see Maven. If you click here, it will show you all the Maven details. So this is our project. These are the Maven life cycles. These are the plugins. When we add our dependency, you will also see a section for dependency here. And you can press Ctrl E on your keyboard, and you will see all the recent files and sections. So you can go from Maven from here as well. And this is our project structure. So we have done step number 2, and now in our pom.xml file we will add dependencies for REST assured and TestNG. So TestNG is the testing framework that we will use, and REST assured is our library for API testing. So let us go to our pom.xml, and here as of now I do not have any dependency section. So I can go to code and say generate, and I will say dependency. So I will say REST assured, and I'm going to take this from io.rest-assured, and you can also check this on the Maven repository, and if you want you can get it directly from the Maven repository as well. So if you go to the Maven repository, and it is here mvnrepository.com, and search for REST assured, and you will see this is from io.rest-assured. And if you go here, you can see 4.4.0 is the latest version as of the time of recording this video. And if you click here, you can directly copy the dependency from here and copy in your pom.xml file. But in IntelliJ we have the direct way. I can directly take it from here. You can see this is again the latest version 4.4.0, and this is coming from io.rest-assured. I will say add, and you can see the dependency is added here. I want to add dependency for TestNG as well. So again I will go to code and say generate. There is a shortcut as well, alt plus insert, you can use that. I will say dependency, and here I will say TestNG, and here it is org.testng. This is the latest version. I can again verify it from Maven repository. I will search for TestNG, and I want to get the TestNG library from this org.testng. If I go here, you can see this is the latest version 7.4.0. so this is what I'm getting it here. So I will again add it, and that's it. I will save my project, and if I go to the Maven section now and click on refresh, you will see there will be a dependencies section, and I have both of my dependencies added here. And the best part of using Maven is you can see there are some other dependencies or requirements that are needed for the primary library, like in this case it is jcommander or jquery, etc. So all this will be taken care by Maven. You do not have to do anything manually, but if you create a Java project, then you may have to download and add all these jars manually. So this is the advantage of having a Maven project. And you can check here as well under project external libraries. You will see all your external libraries added. We have rest assured here, and you will find TestNG is here. So everything is now added and our project is ready. So we have done step number 3. Now step number 4 is I will create a class and add some methods. So let me go to my src folder, and I have a test folder here, a Java folder here. I can create first a folder and then put my files, or I can directly create a Java class, and I will call this as API tests. You can name it anything. I'm calling it API tests, and that's it. So it has created a Java class, and now I will create a method. So let me say I want to create, I will say void, and I will just say this is test1, and that's it. And to make this as a TestNG test, I will have to give the annotation at test, and you can see it is giving me auto suggestion that do you want to get it from org.testng.annotations. I will say yes, and I will click, and you can see it has imported this from here. Now I will have to write my API test. So let us say, let me take some example. So you can use your own APIs. For now, I will find some sample REST API for testing online, and I will just go here reqres.in, and here if I scroll down, they have some sample APIs for testing. Let me take this get API, which is list users, and you can see this is the API endpoint here, and this is the response. This is how I should get the response. So I should get all these details of multiple users, and this is, if you click on this URL or the endpoint, it will take you to the complete URL, and this is what I can use in my API. So I will say here, so because this is rest assured, I will say rest assured, and you can see because we have already added the Maven dependency, I am getting this option. I will say rest assured. Now I will say dot, and because this is get, I will say get, and then I will have to give the URL here. So I will say I will copy and paste this endpoint or URL of the API, and then I will give a semicolon to end the statement. So this is a method in REST assured to run a GET request. Now, if I want to store the response in some variable, I can use the response class from REST assured. So I will say response. You can see again this is coming from REST assured. I will take this and say I will give some variable name. I can say response here. You can use any name here, and because Java is case sensitive, this response is different from this response. So this is just a variable name, and now our response will be stored here, and using this response now I can get the details. So I can say response dot get status code. So this will give me the status code. I can also say response dot get body, or I can say response dot get header. You can see get body, get content type, all these things I can get. And to print it on the output window or the console, I will have to use the print statement. So I will say s out and enter. So this will auto complete the print statement, and here I will say I will put this status code, and if I want I can also append something for easy readability. So I will say status code, will be this, and similarly I will say s out, and I will say here I want to also print the response, so I will say response dot as string. So I will convert it into a string and print the response, and let me just keep this at the top. I will cut and paste it here, and then I can also add, I can say s out, and then I will say here body, and I can say here response dot get body, and it is here, and again I will take print it as a string. So I can do this. I can also get the time of the response. I can say here time taken, and I will say response dot get time, and there are so many things you can do. So let me say if I want to get a header, so I will say header value, and I can say here response dot get header, and I can also give the header that I want. So I will say the header that I want to get is content type. So all this I can do, and let us try to run this now. So I will, you can see we have got a run button here, so it will run all the methods. I can run a single method by using this run button. I can also do a right click and say run from here. So all this I can do. So let me just run from here and check the output, and let us see what do we get. So this will build the project first, and then it will run, and it is now running, and yes, it is done, and you can see it is pass, and you can see here this is our response, this is our status code, this is our body, this is the time taken in milliseconds, and this is the content type header of the response, which is application JSON. So this is how you can now run any of your APIs. Now let us say if I want to do some assertions, I can also store into some variable. For example, I want to check the status code. I will create a integer type a variable which I will call as status code, and then I will store the status code from the response. So I will say response dot get status code, and then I will say assert dot assert equals, and then I have to give the actual and the expected. So actual is whatever we get in the status code variable, and the actual that we want to check is let us say 200. So you can see this is what we are doing here. Let me save and run again, and let us see what happens now. So it is building and running now, and everything is passed. You can see the assertion has also passed. Just in case I change this, I will make it 201, and now if I run and check, this time the assertion should fail, and it is building, and you can see it has failed, and you can see this is the failure. There was a assertion error, and here I can see the details as well. So expected was 201, but actual was 200. So this was a error. So this is how you can also add assertions. Now just in case if I do a static import of the REST assured library, let us say here I will say import static io.rest assured, and let me say dot star, so it will import everything. Now in this case I do not have to use this rest assured, I can directly say get here. So in case you want to do a static import and then directly use the methods of the rest assured library, you can do like this. And now I can also create another test and show you. So let us say I will say test2, And now because we have done a static import, I can directly say, I can just say given dot get, and I will give the URL, which is this one. So here I am also using the Gherkin language, given, when, then, etc. I will show you how you can learn BDD as well in a moment, but let me just complete this statement. I am saying given get this particular URL, then I want to check status code is 200. So you can see in a single line I am running a statement. I am running this get API, and then I am checking the status code is this. If I want, I can put this in different line as well for easy readability. So I am saying given, then, and status code. So this should also work. Let me try to run and check. So I am going to run this again and see. So this is building the project, and yes, you can see this is done. And we missed something. It did not run test2 because we have not added the TestNG annotation. So that was my mistake. I missed it, and now it is fine. I will save and run again, and this time it should run the test2 as well. So this is done, and you can see test2 is also executed and everything is fine. So we are able to run the test. Now here we have created a class and a method. We have also added a code to run a get API request. We have run the test, and then we can also add the TestNG run configuration and then check the TestNG reports. And I have shown this in my TestNG video on IntelliJ. You can check from here, and let me also show you now. So I can go to run and edit configurations, and before I do this, there should be a TestNG plugin added in your IntelliJ, and by default it comes inbuilt with IntelliJ, but still if you want, you can check here. You can go to settings and go to project structure. You can also go from file menu and go to project structure, and sorry, this is not project structure. You have to go to settings and go to settings, or directly go to plugins from here. So this will take you to the settings and plugins, and here in the installed, search for TestNG, and you should see TestNG plugin which is installed and active. Just in case you do not find it, you can go to the marketplace and then search for TestNG and install it, and then you can go to the run and edit configuration, and here I will go to TestNG and then create a new configuration. I will call this as run as TestNG, and I will select the class which is API tests, and then under the listeners I can add the listeners like emailable report listener, etc., by using the plus button here, or I can just say use default reporters, apply and OK, and now I am going to run as TestNG. You can see now I am getting this option, run as TestNG. So let me use this, and this will also create some TestNG reports for us. And you can see it is done, and you will find a new test output folder here which has these reports. If you want, you can select where do you want to store the reports. Again, you can go to the run and go to edit configurations, and here you can see you can select the output directory here. So it has created some reports. If I go to the folder, I will copy the location of this folder, and then let me just open it into my window. I will go to my system and go to a folder, and I will open this here, and you can see here we have got emailable report, and this is how the emailable report looks like. We have test1, test2, we have the status, pass, fail, time taken, etc., and this is the complete status of the project. and then you can find some more reports here. So here is index.html, and you can see the report here. So you can see two methods, two passed, and you can see past methods here. Everything is available here, so you can check all these reports and you can create TestNG reports like this in your rest assured project. And this is how you can create a complete rest assured project. In the coming session, I will also show you some more options, some more features. We will create and run some more API requests, and please do hands on. And if you have any questions or if you face any doubts, please let me know in the comment section below. I will see you in the next session. Thank you for watching and never stop learning.